very fine people on both sides.
I wanted to know exactly what he said because honestly, I hadn't looked at what he said. I'd only heard what people said about what he said. When I researched it, what's really interesting to me is the first two articles that came up were an article from PolitiFact and an article from factcheck.org. And both of those articles said that Donald Trump's comments were out of context and put the entire comment inside of the article for what he said. Now, that's really interesting to me because I seem to remember in the Wayback Machine where Trump will say things sometimes and attached to the bottom of it will be a fact check from PolitiFact or factcheck.org at the bottom of what he said, fact checking or saying that something was taken out of context from Joe Biden or something like that whenever he posts a certain thing. Now, what I haven't seen yet is any time that anyone on the left, whether it be AOC or Bernie or everyone or Biden running campaign commercials, I've yet to see a PolitiFact fact check this very one that we're about to look at, fact checking and saying that those words are taken out of context, which is literally the first thing you'll get when you research this quote.
That's so interesting.
Isn't that interesting? Contrary to Biden's claim, the president twice specifically condemned white supremacists and neo-Nazis, and he has repeated that condemnation since.
They showed up in Charlottesville to protest.
Excuse me, they didn't put themselves down, Mr. Yoder. And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly.
Yeah, if you spend a minute of your life listening to what I just played right there, do you come away with Trump said that the Nazis and white nationalists were very fine people?
No.
How do you come away with that? I'm sick of this, man. I'm sick of it. I'm losing.
It's so insane.
I know. I'm losing my mind over here, and people fall for it, hook, line, and sinker, because we have an entire country that have been educated by the freaking government. And I don't know what else to say about it other than this is honestly a flat out lie. And he did also in this make the point that the white nationalists had got a permit to have a march. Now, in me saying this, is this me defending white nationalists or white nationalism whatsoever? No, it's not, unless you're an idiot. That's really the only way that comes out. But they got a permit to hold a march, and then they were met with Antifa-type people who don't allow people to move about in the ways that they want to move about. And they were also, if I remember correctly, now this could be totally wrong, there were other people that were there that were simply protesting the removal of the monument because people don't seem to like the idea of monuments to people from our history being removed, that were not white nationalists or Nazis. They were just people, say, from the right. I don't know. Call them whatever you want. Call them, I don't know.
Could have been moderates.
Anyone. Republicans that were upset that they were going to be removing the monument. And those people were there too. And so when he says that there were fine people on both sides, I definitely think that that's what he was talking about. And even if I didn't think that's what he was talking about, literally 30 seconds later, he said, I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists. I'm talking about the other people that were there protesting the statue being removed. So I don't know how you can, it's sad to me that you can bend history and bend the truth and just outright lie. But I don't know how it's so possible to lie this outright and take a line that someone said 30 seconds before they said another line and say that this is what they meant, and literally say that he said that neo-Nazis and white nationalists are very fine people, when in the same quote, I can put this video on TikTok, it's so short, he literally said I'm not talking about neo-Nazis and white nationalists. I don't know what else to say about it.
He said those people should be condemned.
He literally said those people should be condemned. And then I don't like very many of Trump's policies. I'm not going to say that he's just an amazing president, but I'm also not just going to sit here and listen to people lie. There's a difference. But there's a difference in being able to do that and then just sitting by while people straight up lie about things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to do both, or you're not principled. You're a hack.